Nah. It's not happening to me again, bro. I almost started muted. Oh my gosh, man. I almost did it again. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Well, well. Hmm. What do we have here? What do we have here, man? Something that started as a joke is now becoming reality. This club, this club is crazy, man. This club. So Vincent Kompany is actually going to be a reality. Although I just read something. Somebody said diversity hire. Hey, that's what it sounds like, bro. It sounds like we're just trying to fulfill some diversity quota. Football doesn't have enough black managers, so that's what Vincent Kompany's here to do. So Honus wanted to cancel the company deal to bring Flick. However, Herbal disagreed with him and pushed for Kompany. Bayern optimistic to agree a deal with Burnley in the next hours or this weekend. That's from an anonymous account, one of those guys that claims to know stuff. I don't know if Uli Hoeneß pushed for Flick specifically, but I mean, it's Uli Hoeneß. So this is a Max Herbal decision. Bringing Vincent Kompany to Bayern is Peter Griffin from Family Guy's decision. Peter Griffin. Peter. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. Yep, that's what we're doing. Hey, Lois. Hey, Lois. Hey, Lois. Dude, I used to watch so much Family Guy. Well, look. Oh my gosh, I don't want to watch that. What did I just see, man? All right, well, don't scroll down when you Google Peter Griffin. But that's who's making the decisions. Max Herbal over here, man. So bringing Kompany is his decision. That means if Kompany fails, guess who we blame? We blame Max Herbal. Now, Vincent Kompany is apparently bringing everybody. It's like this is I'm so racist that I don't. Ah, man, I'm looking at this like what's going on, man? Why does our coaching staff look like l'équipe de français, like the French national team? What's up? What's all these black? I need to see blonde hair, blue eyes, man, in my coaching staff. All right. Hey, what's going on, dog? You don't know where I'm from, dog. Like Clint Dempsey said that one time. So his backroom staff is gonna have Floribert Ngalulu. So, oh my gosh, man, we can't even pronounce these names, man. How are they gonna command respect? All right, Rene Maric. All right. We're moving somewhere. Bram Gers. All right. Raudis Mungwai. Ah, bruh, man. We need some man, he's black. No, YouTube, don't cancel me. Nah, yay. Hey, any Burnley fans in the house, man? Did you guys watch Company Ball? I know he got like 101 points. I don't know if he broke a record. That sounds like it's probably been done before in the championship. I mean, look, Company brought Burnley from, Chris Wood, these tall, big. Actually, they weren't BBCs; they were BBWs, man. No, BWCs. No, whatever. Big white players. So he brought them from that. I mean, by the way, it was. Why is my Google not dark mode? What's going on? Hey, yo, what's happening? Why is my Google all, bruh? Why? Who did this to my computer, man? Bro, I need my dark mode. Put it back on. Yeah, all right. That was weird. Hey, yo, why did it turn it back off? I just turned it on. Yeah. Why is it so bright? Google.com. Oh, there we go. It's good now. Bruh, it's just light on my eyes, man. Hey, when you're so used to dark mode, you can't even do that light mode anymore. Anyways, so yeah, how did Company do at Burnley? I mean, I watched a lot of videos of like tactical analysis of his managerial style. Basically, he's just Pep Guardiola with more melanin and less ability and more and less provability. You know what I mean? Like he just has not been proven. So that's the only difference between Company and I. Look, who are we going to sign? Let's be honest here. I know everyone's going to go Ruben Amorim, but he plays a back three. I don't think this club would have done that. I think Bayern just wanted a name and potential. Company is coming in with potential. But here's what I will say, if it works out, it's a masterpiece because you're getting a manager that is dedicated to your club, and he's going to come here with the mission in mind. He knows exactly what we need to do. We need to stabilize and compete for the Champions League because we have a Champions League final in our stadium in 2025. We have to be there, bro. We will be there. We will be there. Unbelievable. We will be there. Like Pep said, man, we will be there. We need to be there. It's in our stadium. So, I mean, Company's coming into a team that is in transition, but realistically, we're not in transition. We just need two or three really good players and this team's good. I mean, really just a midfielder. If the board said we're not signing attackers, we're just going to sign a world-class midfielder, a defense, actually maybe two, a really maybe a good DM but a world-class central midfielder like Bruno Guimaraes or something. If we just got that, man, I'd be good. I would be fine. I'd be fine, man. Like them tickets you get on roads for speeding, I'd be fine. So I just think Company's coming into a team with a lot of risk for his career. If he fails, he's getting Saquinho, man. Saquinho. That sounds like one of these new Brazilians coming. Yo, they just be making names for everything. There's a kid named Messinho now. What's next? Ronaldinho. Oh, I mean, we already had Ronaldinho. But yeah, they're just gonna keep naming these kids at like Hazardinho. I'm surprised we haven't gotten that one. Or Mourinho. Literally, there's gonna be a Brazilian who looks a little bit like Mulla, and they're gonna call him Mourinho. Trust me. So, okay, in regards to what we're talking about here, I don't see why Company, you know, why him specifically, right? I mean, you have a lot of coaches that try to play attacking football like Pep. Maybe the idea is that Company's tactical awareness is better. I don't look, I just wanted Xabi Alonso, and I understood Alonso's decision to stay at Leverkusen. By the way, Alonso showed his immaturity in that Europa League game. Because what was that lineup, bruh? I mean, 20 minutes into the game, I figured out the game. I was like, they're going to struggle. Well, actually, they were like 12 minutes in before they conceded. I was like, well, this game is going to be lost because they don't have any presence up front. They can't hold the ball up. And Atalanta have really good center backs. And, well, they're just going to struggle overall to get into the rhythm of the game. And that's exactly what happened. And then they switched out some changes and brought in Boniface, but it was too late. Atalanta had settled into a rhythm and they were 2-0 up. It was impossible to come back. So Alonso showed his immaturity, but hopefully that's a learned experience that you have to play your best players. I mean, Adley and Frimpong, all of these bums, bro. You just gotta, bro. See, this is why people go crazy. Like when I say Frimpong's a bum, someone's just looking at it like, what? Frimpong? He's so good. And maybe they're Bayern fans. They don't watch Leverkusen. He's so good. Yeah, he's a bum. I'm saying it. And you might be like, George doesn't know ball. That's because I watch Leverkusen. He's a bum. He needs about 5 chances to score 1 goal, and all his goals are tap-ins, and the other chances probably were easier. His dribbling is mediocre. His ball carrying, just his passing is horrible. His decision making is horrible. He is a bum. But the goals. well, if you have a really good system, bad players can look good. So look, I'm at a point where I just don't care anymore about getting players just because other people want the players. Chelsea might want Frimpong or Arsenal, whatever. That doesn't mean we have to want him. Anyways, Alonso would have been my preferred choice, but he made the correct decision by staying at Leverkusen. Bayern fans were angry. Why aren't you coming to us? Yeah, leave Leverkusen, a club where everything's smooth. And by the way, Leverkusen CEO made a statement that, hey, we lost the Europa League, but hopefully we'll be in the Champions League final in Munich. And Bayern fans are like, oh, he's not humble. Well, that's actually precisely what he needs to say, because his team is so good. That should be the expectation. Leverkusen genuinely have a chance at doing very well in the Champions League. Think about their team again. Think about the fact that their defense is perfect. I mean, you have a sweeper in Jonathan Tah. Even if he leaves, other players are going to fill his boots. I don't think Tapsoba is going to leave. If he does, that's stupid. I think Kosunu is just coming into his strengths more and more. So good back line. If Frimpong and someone else or Grimaldo's going to stay, obviously. I think Frimpong needs to get sold. If they keep Stanisic, the depth is enough. And then you go into the midfield and it's like, well, Palacios is really good and Xhaka can be crap, but also really good on his day. They just need another midfielder. And you have Andrich, who's just a strong man. He's a good option to bring off the bench. And then their attack, Boniface, Vitz, who's going to stay. Like, you can kind of start seeing like they have dangerous players. So it's about ambition. But I thought Alonso staying at Leverkusen made sense for him. I think what we need to do now as a club is trust Kompany for this season and give him some players, right? And give ourselves enough firepower to compete in a war for the Champions League. Because we have to be there, bro. We will be there. We will be there. Absolutely. We will be there. Unbelievable. We cannot replace it. We cannot undo it. We have to be there. We cannot undo the fact that the Champions League is in our stadium. It's at the Allianz Arena. We have to be there. It's at the Allianz Arena, man. We have to do what we got to do. So sign a good, maybe two good midfielders, man. And I don't care. Sell some bums if you have to, right? I don't so go spend 120 million on a bowler. I do not care, man. What about Lucas Paqueta, man? I mean, look, bro, we could just sign every Brazilian we see in. I think Paqueta and Guimaraes, those guys are really good. I'm a fan of theirs. And then, bruh, we just get either of them, not. You can get this one or the other one. That's what I mean. Like, we could just have a complete midfield, man. I dream of having a Madrid level midfield where Tony Kroos is retiring and no one's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna start sucking. Nah, just gonna bring Camavinga into the position. That's all. They're gonna bring Camavinga. That's all they're gonna do. Isn't it just annoying? Paqueta is done? What you mean done? He cooked? What you mean? What are you guys saying? What are y'all saying? Barca won't have enough funds for in-season operations. What do you mean by that? Oh, by the way, Hansi Flick's going to Barcelona, man. My gosh. If he cooks there, I'm gonna be pissed forever, man. Even if the company's doing well, I'm gonna just be checking Barca games to see what's up, man. It looks like Barcelona are getting Flick on a 2-year deal. So it's kind of like a low risk, high reward scenario. Yeah, Hansi speaking Spanish is going to be hilarious. Wait, how is he going to speak to those players? I mean, language is kind of important as a manager because if you can't make your ideas clear, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be very difficult. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I wish him luck though. I mean, Hansi's still my guy, man. He is still my guy. Still a fan. You know, I am still a fan of the great man that was and is Hansi Flick. So the board wanted Flick back, but Herbal said no. I'll get Vincent Kompany. So if Vincent Kompany comes here and does something, oh my gosh, hey guys, that story was not a lie. Oh my gosh, Peter Griffin could cook us or cook. Either way, he's still fat. So Uli Hoeneß. So everyone was in favor of Flick in the past few days, but Herbal said no. Trust me, I see something in Vincent Kompany, and he's insisted on Kompany and ultimately prevailed. Wow. 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 Look, Herbal finally grabbing his cojones. I mean, they're generally hard to see and even touch. I mean, given his stature and all those things. But man, I'm happy to see I'm happy to hear that, man. That he's finally doing what he needs to do. Yeah. Very happy to see that. Because I mean, look, I always said it. This board, especially Uli Hoeneß, they need to take a back seat and trust the fact that we have a new system and a new program, new ideas. It's like politicians, man. You elect someone and you expect them to implement their philosophy of governance. And then it turns out it's just a continuity of government and nothing changes. So it's good to see Herbal go, all right, well, look, I might not have gotten Alonso, but let's get Kompany instead of Flick. Because Flick would have been a very easy decision to just kind of go, all right, he worked well here. All right, cool. Flick cannot handle players. That's all he did perfectly here. I mean, Flick turned Muller from a declining figure into, well, having the best season of his career as a playmaker, and Lewandowski too. So Flick handled every player, and all the players loved him. There was never any breakdowns in communications. So, another thing I'm glad isn't that's not happening is Xavi. Xavi's not even linked to us. So I had a fear that we might go get him because Xavi, just go get him for no reason. Yeah, I'm glad that's not happening. So it looks like Flick. I don't know. Maybe Flick comes through and he was finished at the national team and he doesn't do anything at Barca. But I expect Flick to bring ideas to Barcelona, training principles that can change that club a little bit. But imagine you're Hansi and you're looking at the Barca lineup and you see Pedri, you see, bro. First of all, you're gonna be happy but sad that that man's gonna get injured at the first touch, man. Pedri and Flick, man. I will be there, bruh. I'm gonna be watching my baller Pedri do his business, man. See, it's weird how, bro, you people rate anything, man. You guys will see a 2 out of 10 walk past and think it's a man of the match performer and think it's a prospect, bruh. And then you'll see a baller like Pedri and be like, where are his goals and assists? Bruh, I'm seeing Pedri orchestrate, man. He's just doing what he does. He's a magician. Pedri reminds me of young Thiago. I don't know if he's ever gonna change his play style to fit more as a deep lying six, which he should. Pedri's not an attacking midfielder in the traditional sense. He's too important to build up and pressure evasion to play that high up the field. I don't think Pedri's more like a Luka Modric. He's more of a, in my opinion, he's more of a Thiago. And maybe when his body finally decides to stop getting injured at every turn, maybe he can drop back a little bit and play deeper and help more defensively. because he has the intelligence of the game. So, man, or he could just add a bunch of muscle. I don't think muscle is what he needs. I think he can use his. I think he needs to get his hip muscles stronger. I think his thighs could be stronger. Like he has to do focus muscles. So he can't go work out his biceps. That's stupid. Or his chest. Don't do that. Because you want to keep your light-weighted, turns and quickness while also giving yourself the ability to knock people off the ball and stay on the ball yourself. So, yeah, man, I love Pedri. He's a baller. Let me see what Flick does with him. Barcelona haven't figured out their midfield play since Busquets left, or Busquets started declining drastically, because he was still okay for a few more seasons, but his last season at Barca wasn't the greatest. So Flick has a choice of what he wants to do. Does he go get a DM like Amadou Onana, or does he try to stabilize what they currently do now and just try to coach certain um, sequences with his midfield defensively and offensively? Does Flick go berserk in his attack at Barcelona? Do they do the high line and press high? Does he have the players that can do that? I don't know. It's all about what I don't know. I'm just really curious. Actually, I'm going to be watching Barcelona games closely, just because I like Flick, man. I want him to do really well. I also want Kompany to do well. I would be angry if we were trying to get like a Mourinho or Conte. Like I'd be pissed. But we're trying something different, and in my eyes, that's fine. Look, we didn't get Flick like I wanted, but we're trying something different, and Herbal's getting a choice. He's getting a say, and he's stamping his authority. And even though I don't really rate Herbal until he proves me wrong, even though I'm not really like a big fan of his, I think that's good. I think it's good that he's going, I want Kompany. That's the guy I'm picking. You picked me to do this, and trust me here. Because if I fail, I'll take the responsibility of the guy that picked Kompany. But if Kompany comes in as a diversity hire and he excels, then fair enough. Sometimes these diversity hires do well. You're like, you know what? You're not just black. You're also good. So we'll see. My man Ghost with $10. I appreciate you. Flick says FC Barcelona is very good players and can get the most out of the players. I think he can. I mean, I think Gavi, as much as I think he's a stinking footballer, I think Gavi can give Flick a little bit of something, man. That press, that box-to-box ability, that grit. So if Gavi comes back and he's back to himself, then I think he could be one of Flick's most important midfielders, alongside a DM, of course, because Flick needs stability. See, all the Barca board has to do is get Flick fast-paced footballers. Lewandowski will benefit from Flick because he already understands Flick's system. And Flick was the first Bayern manager to give Levy freedom. Levy would come out to the wide areas and try to put crosses in. And because everyone was scoring at such a high rate under Flick, because we created so many chances, Levy could kind of score a goal and then do other things in the game. And that gave him an opportunity to link up differently with his team. Whereas because he's just a focal point right now at Barcelona, everything relies on him getting a goal, because Barca only create chances for a striker. Whereas when Flick comes in, chances are going to come from every angle. It's going to be blitzkrieg football, man, marching the ball to the opponent's box and then just trying to devastate them. So we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting how that works out in La Liga, where teams are play a little bit defensive. It's weird. Spanish teams used to be so attacking. Now it's like everyone's parking the bus. It's weird, and counterattacking. For us at Bayern, Kompany needs a DM. He needs a Rodri, someone who can conduct play but break it up at the same time. Or if we can't get a Rodri profile player, you have to go out and spend a lot of money on two midfielders. You have to spend money on you could realistically spend money on number eights, on two eights that you trust, and maybe they do something special. Who knows? It's just about trying, right? Company might do the same thing as Alonso and go unbeaten in the season. That's not going to happen. I mean, Alonso went unbeaten, and it's historic. The way they want, see, this is how hard football is. They needed to win 95 minutes into the game, or they needed to keep themselves in a striking distance in every game. Like games they were losing by 3, they needed to get it to a reasonable score, like at some points in the game. So it's very difficult to expect any manager to come anywhere close to an unbeaten season. It just makes no sense. I don't know. You guys would be um, overestimating like many teams' abilities to do anything, like not conceding. Um, from Flick to Nagelsmann to Tuchel to Kompany. Well, I'm glad we got rid of Tuchel. I mean, I get what you're saying. On paper, Kompany isn't like inherently an upgrade from Tuchel, but it's a different strategy. So that's what I want to see. It's a different strategy from this club. Luton Town is front of someone's house. Kompany finished below that. We are done. We will get embarrassed. I mean, this is a possibility. See, it's a hit or miss. It's 50-50. Kompany comes in, implements a philosophy that works, we grow. He comes in, implements a philosophy that doesn't work or lacks the ability to implement that philosophy, and we get cooked. There's no in between here. I mean, I don't think we could just like the best thing is we can't there's no way Kompany comes in and stabilizes us enough to keep the board happy, but also, you know, want us to give him more time. Like there's no way. He either flops in his first season or he doesn't. He demonstrated it at Burnley. He was able to take a team that was defensive, counterattacking, that kind of thing, using long balls, route one football, and he transformed them into a possession-based team that controlled games with 65% possession. In the English leagues, only City had more possession than Burnley. Now, Burnley were in the championship, but it demonstrates that Kompany is obsessed with the ball like Pep. And then they scored a lot of goals, which tells me not just ball obsession, but chance creation obsession. Now, when you look at Kompany's team, Burnley, what they try to do on the ball is have men in between the lines. He uses inverted fullbacks, which kind of works with what we have. Kimmich will invert and give a number in the midfield, and we'll have another midfielder take up the half space, and our attacking midfielder, Musiala, will take the left half space. And maybe he'll do a thing where Davies is almost an attacker, but Kompany likes to have one fullback invert with the two center backs, and then have the two midfielders, and that creates a 5, and then one attacking or one of the midfielders, so Musiala in front of them, and I guess maybe Davies, Kane, Sane. It's like a five formation build up. Like 5 players start the build up. It's like a 5-2-4, like that kind of thing. Or you might see a 4-2-4. Not like on paper, but how the players are lined up on like the shape of the team. That's what I'm talking about. So not a back 5. I mean, there's 5 players in our half near the ball trying to play out, and he concentrates on central areas. So hopefully a lot of combination play. So a lot of central play and then move out wide, similar to how City played when Sane and Sterling were there, when they had these devastating wingers with pace. So where they play very central, and then when that ball and space would open, you would see David Silva just pass the ball in between the half spaces, and Sané just bursting out from a wide area from the left wing position, just trying to get in, and he does, and just square the ball to Aguero. That's the goal. Vincent Kompany also uses his strikers like Firmino at Liverpool, where they drop really deep, which is probably the most important concept because we have Kane for that, and Kane does really well in that system. So, I mean, the beautiful thing is we have the player profiles to play company ball, whatever that means. But I don't really understand company ball because I haven't. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch Burnley. I'm not watching relegation fodder, man. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not. I'm not watching games at Tough Mall. I don't even watch Prem games that much anymore. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see company ball, whatever that means, in effect. So, look, there's a lot to be hopeful for, but also a lot to be worried about. That's just how it works, man. That's just how it works. But FC Bayern, Deutscher Meister. Yep, Mr. Griffin, man. Let Peter Griffin cook, bro. Let him cook. He clearly knows where to find good food with how big he is. The plan is obvious. Let him coach for a year, find an excuse to sack him, and then get Alonso. Or he does well and you don't sack him. Oh, yeah. Company speaks perfect German. I mean, he's what do you call that country? People from that Belgish? Hey, yo, what do y'all call people from Belgium, dogs? Y'all, what do you guys call them? They speak French, Dutch, and German. Belgium is the most pointless country in the world. I think they should just divide the territories between France, Germany, and the Netherlands, bruh. I don't see why we need a country that's basically just Germany, France, and the Netherlands. They should just draw a line. Just give one half to Germany, or a third to Germany, a third to France, and a third to the Netherlands. Okay, my Google's crappy again because it's still giving me this. Whatever. Maybe it's God's sign that I need to probably see white pictures and not just black and white screens all day. Maybe my brain needs both to adjust. But yeah, Belgium is just the most useless. I'm not lying, Brett. All I know is political corruption. The EU. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I know Brussels for. Is that where it's at? The EU headquarters? Yeah, hey, maybe I don't know. Why am I so hateful? Maybe countries like Belgium and well, obviously the Netherlands is cool because Iron Robin. But okay, Switzerland's a real useless country though. Like, okay, see that's really useless. Okay, maybe it's Switzerland. Switzerland, I'm thinking about. They're really useless. Like they just like really, they could just be Germany because well, dang, they speak Italian there too. They speak Romansh. The heck is that? Romance language. Yeah, okay. We got to knock them out of the. Wow. Yeah, okay. That's I don't know. I think these countries exist for no reason. Hey, my boy Adolfo in the 40s had a dream, bro. We got to realize that. We got to make that dream come true. We got to bring these European countries together, man. Cuz there's no reason why we need two pointless countries like Switzerland and Belgium. Hey, anyone from Belgium, I'm sorry I'm cooking you. They have like 6 official languages. Yeah, what a bunch of geeks, bro. If you just know English, you're good, bro. He has been coached by Mancini was who I was thinking about, and Pellegrini. Yes, the guy with hair. Yeah, Man City. I wouldn't say those guys are anywhere on Pep's level, but Pep's enough, man. Pep knows everything about football. They speak 4 languages. Yeah, okay. What a bunch of dorks, bro. Yeah, hey yo, we gotta bring that back. Yeah. Yeah, you can't look, somebody needs to give them an identity, bruh. They got 6 different play styles. That's crazy. Like, they gotta unite, bro. Shot. Hey, yo. He was cooking. Nah, let's not do this. Is it real that company will coach us? Yes. It's real like Instagram, man. Reels. It's very true. I mean, what were realistically, we could have been linked to Mourinho, so it's not that bad. Let's read this thread because this guy wrote something about Kompany. Kompany. The annoying thing about this is City fans are going to be watching our games now because they're going to be like, "Oh, this could be our future coach." I mean, no coach stays anywhere for that long. Coaches leaving is different from players leaving. I mean, when a player leaves, it's like, okay, that's bad. When a coach leaves, it's okay. That's part of the game. Okay, so working on a company thread. The future of players at the club, who will improve, who will suffer, how he should tactically set up, and name some priority signings. Will be out tonight. I am motivated. Stay tuned. Just finished the thread. Took me longer than, bro. Why would you do a thread and not post it? Like, what's wrong with these guys, man? Okay, this guy has a degree in sports management and business, and he has a UEFA B coaching license. By the way, I'm going to be in communications with a club to start coaching late July if you guys are interested. Okay, here's the thread 2.5 million views, bruh. My man's getting views. So this must have been a good thread. So Vincent Kompany is about to become the manager of the biggest club in the world, Bayern Munich. Hey, that glaze is crazy. My man just said the biggest club in the world. That's like I'm deluded about Bayern, but even I know that's just not true right now. I mean, we're not the biggest. We're the second biggest club in the world. But so Xavi, Mikel Arteta, Xabi Alonso, and now Vincent Kompany, another young modern Guardiola disciple, is about to emerge one of the biggest clubs in the world. Wait, I didn't realize Xavi. Yeah, Xavi is kind of like a Guardiola disciple. I'd say our Arteta just seems more like a Pep disciple because he actually coached as an assistant with Pep, whereas like Xavi was more of a player, and I mean that influence was so long ago. That's true. That's true. I mean, Alonso also got coached by Pep here at Bayern, but I wouldn't call Xavi a Pep disciple. He plays very different. His style is cool. Pep style is just annoying to face, but annoying to watch at the same time. Let me just preface, I'm not saying you need to learn to spell, my G. You got all these licenses and all of this brain, these degrees. Learn to spell, dog. You should do a spelling bee. Because what is this? Saying gang. He wanted to put the G here. All right, I'm not saying anything to please anyone. Okay, so he's not just glazing us. You can go through my past tweets. Anything I say in this tweet is not to simply appeal to Bayern Munich fans. I have always rated Kompany very, very highly, as I do with almost every single Guardiola disciple. It's just impossible to directly learn under the best manager of all time and be a poor manager. It just is. Okay? Vincent Kompany's relegation is definitely nothing to be embarrassed about. The squad he had, absolutely shocking. The decision making is so consistently horrendous. How they even broke the 100-point barrier in the championship is a myth to me. Again, I've been vocal about this since last year. Burnley's quality is shocking, and you cannot coach good decision making. But that raises my only concern about Kompany, and I will get this out of the way. Burnley did indeed spend a lot of money in the summer, relatively speaking, and the squad they ended up with was quite shocking, spending a record in transfer fees, and that's the squad you end up with. It does make you question the scope of Kompany's talent identification. You know, I don't want to label it as necessarily poor because you can clearly see the appeal of some of these players, and they are clearly talented. Luca Colesio, Lau Foster, Zeki, blah, blah. But my word, they are the least intelligent crop of players I have seen. And if Kompany oversaw some of these signings, it becomes more questionable. But there are some good transfers Kompany has made, no doubt. The likes of Sander Berge have been very good. Sander Berge, I feel like we were linked to that guy at some point. I remember that name, man. Sander Badge. I mean, we're linked to everything that moves, but he's Norwegian. Yeah, I feel like this is the guy we're linked to from Genk. Oh my gosh, how do you end up at Burnley? Burnley. All right, well, I don't want to label this as a major concern. Burnley, and not just Bayern Munich, but any top club, are completely different environments when it comes to signings. Access to more data to ensure and validate good signings, better scouts to ensure and validate good signings, potential to delegate less weight on your shoulders, a much more cooperative process, a winning environment of Bayern compared to Burnley may raise the floor of poor signings. So this guy is saying our version of a poor signing is different from Burnley's version of a poor signing because our poor signings are probably still good for most clubs. Of course, more funds means an access to a wider range of players, not having to consistently look for hidden gems. Now let's talk tactics. How would I describe Kompany? I would say his tactical style in the attacking phase is quite reminiscent of Centurion's Man City. Oh, that's what I was thinking about with Leroy Sané and Sterling, where they spread really. Right now, City do a lot of different things, but they like that old City teams would spread the play, and it was just impossible to get the ball off of them. But then to stop the balls in behind to Sané and Sterling, or the cutbacks to the edge of the box, it was annoying. His shape is reminiscent of Mikel Arteta in how fluid he likes to be, particularly with his fullbacks and midfielders. In the defensive phases, it's quite reminiscent of Mauricio Pochettino and how intensive and similar pressing patterns are. You combine all of these elements and you get Vincent Kompany, a coach that can adapt his shape well. Attacking style. Vincent Kompany likes to spread his attackers out of across the pit. What the hell is this English? But primarily looks to focus majority of the build up down the central areas. Similar to how Guardiola's Centurions lined up with Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling playing very wide, and then David Silva and De Bruyne looking to take up those half spaces in between the wingers and the nine. And this often meant we saw a five-man attack with a 3-2-5 shape, of course. This balance was achieved by Fabian Delph inverting and Kyle Walker forming a third center back. I was tripping earlier. I did mean to say, I said a 5-2-4. What did I say? Did I say a 4-2-5? Like, what I meant was you have a fullback invert, but then you have two midfielders and then the five attackers. That's what I meant. I didn't mean five people in the build-up. I should have I cooked myself. Okay. Vincent Kompany often looks to achieve a similar shape. Recently, Kompany has began favoring a 4-4-2 shape. Well, that's probably because it's Burnley and you're trying to not get relegated. So with his double pivot, this means that achieving the sorry. I got a yawn. This means that achieving this 3-2-5 shape is not as simple as the two advanced eights attack the half spaces. In Kompany's case, he achieves this by using asymmetrical fullbacks. Sander Berge and Josh Cullen sit in midfield, with Sander Berge usually dropping deeper to form a back three, I guess. One of the fullbacks keeps width, essentially playing as a wingback. The other fullback tucks inside to partner Josh Cullen. So Sander Berge almost becomes a center back, and then one of the midfielders or one of the fullbacks tucks inside to become a midfielder, and then one of the other fullbacks joins the attack. Half spaces then occupied by one of the inverted wingers and one of the two forwards. Both forwards play quite deep to achieve a box midfield. A 3-2-5 shape is achieved. You see the parallels to the shape Man City had. It's just achieved differently. Guardiola got his width from the wingers, like you would traditionally expect, but didn't opt for a double pivot, thus used his more forward-lying midfielders to attack the half spaces. Kompany gets his width from one of the fullbacks and a winger, with the other winger acting like an inside forward to attack the half space. The other half space is attacked by one of the nines. The reality is this is very, very surface level. The way this shape is achieved can be much more fluid, but this is the one Kompany favors. It's quite tricky for me to use player names because Kompany has chopped and changed a lot, and there aren't many consistent starters, but keep an eye on the general shape more than anything. Burnley do not have a consistent right winger. So this looks like a three-man with two center backs and a midfielder, and then one of the fullbacks, the right back, drops into the midfield, and the left back is providing width as a left winger, and then the other midfielder in the pivot stays in the midfield, and then the strikers drop, and one of the strikers is here, and the other one's here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the one of the wingers is okay. So this is the right winger, this is the left winger, this is the left back, and these are the two strikers. Makes sense. Kompany puts a very big emphasis on fluidity. He likes to stretch the pitch, but focuses play and creates overload centrally. This enables a way to create space for his wider players and thus have an open way. This man spent hours on this thread and couldn't just do a spell check. Man, the grammar is horrible. So to find runs into the box of the several central players, Kompany is not a fan of out and out nines. He likes both his nines to act as almost false nines in the build-up, able to drop deep and essentially be the ones to form that midfield box, with the main forward threat actually being the inside forward. Essentially, gives Kompany a way to have an advantage in midfield, 4 versus 3, while also having players that are very competent enough to attack when the opportunity arises. He plays a very, very high line as a result and is good at pushing oppositions back further into their own third. Pressing. So why does Kompany opt for a 4-4-2? It may sound like there are some limitations that arise in the attacking phase, and as a result, you have to be overly complicated in how to achieve overloads. You are correct. There are limitations in the attacking phase. Out of possession, it is absolutely golden. What pressing in a 4-4-2 accomplishes is being able to pressure central areas not only in possession, but also out of possession with greater intensity. Kompany wants play to be spread out to wider areas, and this is exactly what this accomplishes. You have four central bodies pressuring around the midfield area as opposed to three. Take the ball away from goal, and you will create panic. Ultimately, it compromises attacking versatility for devastating pressing patterns. Look at Pochettino teams. There is a reason they were so deadly out of possession. How does this translate to Bayern Munich? He has 5 players that are absolutely perfect for the way he wants to play. Matisse Tell, Leroy Sané, Harry Kane, Joshua Kimmich, Jamal Musiala. These are players that will make or break the Kompany project, and hopefully you can see why based on what I've said. I touched on the dynamic about achieving that 3-2-5 shape, having fluidity, and having nines that are comfortable with dropping deep to help build up. These players are the players that fit those descriptions perfectly and will be crucial, or will be a crucial part of what Kompany is trying to build. Joshua Kimmich is the most versatile fullback in the world. He's able to play a role that either generates that width on the right hand side whilst also being one of the best at having the ability to tuck in. This is the epitome of a Kompany fullback. And the same applies for Harry Kane and Matisse Tell as the nines, the best false nine on the planet and one of the best pressing forwards in the world. They complement each other very, very nicely, with Kane, one being able to consistently to stay to stay consistently deep and tell the one who is ready to attack. Then Musiala. Wow, there is no player as good as him at occupying or attacking the half spaces around that final third, whilst Davies takes up the width. Has very good interchanging potential with Tell if he wants to opt centrally as well. Then Leroy Sané, I will not get to. He has a cog in the team that Kompany seem to have gotten a lot of his inspiration from. The one player I want to touch on is Alphonso Davies. He's an interesting case. And if you look at the role Ian Maatsen played at Burnley, Alphonso Davies has absolutely all the potential to be able to accomplish the same. He is an absolutely blistering threat going forward. Whilst there can be questions about how he is defensively, the 4-4-2 shape Kompany can opt for will minimize that. The question for me is his versatility as a fullback, something Kompany loves. Admittedly, I would have had the same concerns about Maatsen, but he proved me wrong, showing that he can indeed play in the central areas as well during his tenure under Kompany. On paper, Davies has the potential to be a central player that can progress and carry the ball, similar to John Stones when he inverts with more dynamism, but severely lacks the passing range Stones has, so is quite a one-trick pony. Well, why wouldn't Davies be the winger actually holding the width higher up the field, and then Musiala in the half space, and Kimmich's the one tucking inside? Is his ability as a wide fullback in this system enough to mask his deficiency? Can he be improved? This is for Kompany to decide. And this is the general 4-4-2 I begin fleshing out when I think about Vincent Kompany at Bayern. If you recall, Eric Dyer played as a 6 under Pochettino. It's the position where he arguably saw the best form of his career. And I think we could see a resonance of that if he does play that role again. What made him so good as a 6 was his passing range. And I think for similar reasons and his physical profile, Pavlovic will also be able to play such a role, able to spread play and dictate from deep. It will take time to get used to, but I think he can make that conversion under Kompany. And a 6 out of possession that can form a back 3 in possession. Dyer already has plenty of experience in that role. I think he will be great. But the profile Bayern significantly lack is a strong, dominant ball carrier for that midfield, a physically capable ball winner, someone who can complement Pavlovic/Dyer very well. And this is why the first signing I will recommend for the Kompany era is Amadou Onana, someone who has a lot of respect for the manager, who is a legend of his country, tall, physically capable, agile, and brilliant at stopping transitions. Amadou Onana is the profile Bayern is missing, and a profile that will transform Kompany's Bayern. Hey, this is kind of gassing me up. Onana, Pavlovic, Dyer complements each other nicely, and in possession, either one of the midfielders are able to drop back into the back 3, depending on the needs. If Kimmich opts to invert, then it would make sense for Dyer, Pavlovic to occupy the deeper spaces, because it is nice to have an elite ball carrier complement an elite orchestrator. Similarly, if Davies opts to invert, then it would make sense for Onana to occupy the deeper spaces. Now you look at the squad and it begins to piece itself together, but there is a severe lack of quality in 2 positions, a starting center back and depth. Players like Goretzka and Leimer are not necessarily a terrible stylistic fit for Kompany, but I think they are good options coming off the bench depending on the game state. They do not provide balance to the squad due to their relatively poor on the ball ability compared to the other midfield options. Yes, this is true. I would keep Leimer, but I would sell Goretzka due to how quickly he can become a dressing room poison. He doesn't have enough quality to risk keeping him around for this project. As for players like Thomas Muller, I actually think he can be very, very beneficial for Kompany. Of course, doesn't have the energy and physicality he did years ago, but he can do it if he doesn't play every single game. He can play that false 9 second striker role. Kompany likes his forward to do very, very well. And in big games, he can be very important next to Kane. Kingsley Coman is a great player, but he cannot stay fit. Serge Gnabry is a player I've never been too high on. I think he is quite average, but he cannot stay fit either. I would not be opposed to Bayern selling both of these to fund new signings, especially since the whole system is very, very reliant on pressing and is a high physical demand. This guy's cooking. He's speaking my language. So Kingsley Coman, so Gnabry, Dayot Upamecano. Again, I think on ability is Bayern's best center back by far, but no, this is a lie. It's Delit. But I said this in my first post: you cannot coach composure. He lacks it and is a liability as a result. As a result, my outgoings: Leon Goretzka, Kingsley Coman, Serge Gnabry, Upamecano. Now, how do you replace these players, these depth pieces? First, let me talk about the center back. I think the center back needs to be a starting quality one, a center back that can come in instantly and make an impact. I think both Delit and Minjay will improve under Kompany, but I don't think our starting quality right now. Okay, you're not cooking, bro. This guy, he lost me with the like. What is he talking about, bro? Like, who? What possessed you, bro? Because you were cooking so much. You brought my boy Delit and started shaming him. Like, you're not cooking, bro. Yeah, he didn't win me over. In my opinion, one of the best talents to come out of France, or Castillo Luqueba. I've been following him since Lyon, and he has been phenomenal at Leipzig. Can easily come in and make an immediate impact. No, I think we need Van Dijk. He's not cooking. The rest of the puzzle is figuring out depth pieces. There's obviously a big glaring hole on the right without Sane. Again, no left footers, a big glaring gap in the Bayern squad. And if Sane gets injured, it also leaves a big gap in Kompany being able to achieve his total football. For that reason, Bernardo Silva should be a priority. My God, okay, you're back to cooking, bro. You're back to cooking. Bernardo, come to Bayern, bro. I've been saying this. Is it unrealistic? Not at all. He has quite vocally wanted to leave Man City for a while for a change of scenery and has a release clause. I think it's like 60 mil, and Barca can't afford that. They're broke. I said it. Yes, and by the way, with Flick coming in, he's not going to fit Barca's system of physical pressing and all of that. So bring me Bernardo Silva, man. Give me he's basically like a Portuguese Di Maria, the way I see him. I said it yesterday, but Spanish and Italian clubs cannot afford it. It's realistically either he stays at City for the third year in a row after attempting to leave, goes to Bayern or PSG. So it's either Munich or Paris. So Bernardo, someone tell Herbal that this threat exists. We need Bernardo Silva. He's a very, very versatile player, ability to play in midfield and on the right would enable Kompany to shift to the 4-2-3-1 if he played during his championship days, or that he played during his championship days. He has the work rate and the familiarity of playing in such a shape under Guardiola. Of course, the connection with Kompany as well in the past should be a priority, in my opinion. He embodies what is necessary in the wing position quite well, able to get to the byline, and also speaks Portuguese, and we need that when we start signing Brazilians, all right? He can attack the half spaces. If Kimmich opts to advance, Bernardo can complete the box midfield. If Kane decides to advance for goal threat, Bernardo's so what if Sane is healthy? Bernardo can play the pivot, or is the 10 over Matisse Tau, or straight over Musiala. It all depends, but he's very versatile. Oh man, bring him in, bro. Bring him in. Finally, another no-brainer signing. Oh my gosh, Zirkzee would be perfect. And Kompany already coached him. And Zirkzee is a Bayern fan. Mia San Mia, my man. He would come in anytime. AC Milan, bro. He would terminate. Bro, Zirkzee loves us. So I think another signing would be a bit too much. So Onana, Bernardo Silva. I don't think we just need to sign one midfielder. I think we need two. Because I want to be able to play a midfield three, basically, right? Because at this club, we get a lot of injuries. And I know people, like, before anything happens, everyone's like, yo, Pavlovic is enough. Yeah, then Pavlovic is injured for 2 months and we fall apart. So we need depth, man, like serious depth. We're going to be playing like Champions League games on Thursdays now, next season. I think the games just increased by like 20%. So we're playing more games in the Champions League. The league's getting harder. Like, bro, we got to have depth. And if we want to compete in the Pokal, you got to have depth. You have to have a team, man. So you need everyone. You need double the players, man. So you don't want to undercommit signings for a new project as you are setting him up to fail. but you don't want to overcommit just as you risk putting future managers in danger. This is a good balance. 3 out of the 4 with some admiration and affiliation with Kompany in some way, and are more than able to play for the needs for a system. Bernardo Silva's versatility essentially counts as 2 signings. That's true. And he's not injury prone. So outgoings, Serge, Leon, and Upamecano. Incomings, Castillo, Silva, Bernardo Silva, Joshua Zirkzee, and Amadou Onana. As I'm writing this and looking at the depth chart, it's wise to keep Coman for another year. No, it's not. No, he doesn't. Midfield has a lot of balance. Onana, Pavlovic, Dyer offers the maximum fluidity needed for a Kompany system. It doesn't. Whilst Bernardo Pavlovic offers maximum technicality. I think this guy is cooking in some aspects, and in some aspects he's not. Oh, Guerrero would be good for a system. Hey, I'm kind of gassed up, man. I'm gassed up like the 40s in a chamber. Nah, I'm joking. See, you guys don't know I'm just joking, bro. Like, don't cancel me, bro. Vincent Kompany very much has what it takes to succeed. Kompany maximizes fluidity and tactical variation and plays in such a way to give players a lot of freedom, allowing them to perform multiple roles in a game. At Bayern, all he's missing is a few depth pieces and a 6. 3 to 4 signings will be enough to let him achieve what he wants. All right. Hey, I'm gassed up, bro. This guy, he went in. He explained what Vincent Kompany's ideas are, and I'm all like, hey, yeah. I was laughing at Arsenal. I wasn't laughing at Arsenal. I'm laughing at Arsenal for the fact that they will remain eternal failures. Like, Arsenal will forever be banter in my eyes. But with Vincent Kompany, if he succeeds, I'd be happy. But if he does it, then we just move on, right? We go and sign Alonso, who is definitely leaving next year. Hey, chat, do you think this is Kompany arriving in Munich right now? Yeah, my sources are saying that's Vincent Kompany arriving in Munich right now. I think KSI might be on the plane too. Yeah, him and KSI were just in that cockpit together. Yeah. Nice, man. Because KSI owns Prime, and Prime is a Bayern sponsor. So, like, that, I think is important to, like. So this is happening, bro. It's happening. Someone said Kompany out. Yeah, you guys are quick, man. You know what I realized, bro? Y'all got no patience. Wait. Hey, who's this Johan Bakayoko? Nah, bro, I don't want no Bakayokos at my club, man. Yo, so apparently, what? Vincent Kompany and Herbal have one common point. They wanted Johan Bakayoko. Yeah, nah, keep him, bro. I don't want him. I see the name Bakayoko. I just think of a player that gets injured and and costs a lot of money. We not rocking with that, bro. I'm not riding with it. Yeah. I'm not rocking with it, bro. We're not interested in Bakayoko, bro. Shut up. By the way, hit the like button if you haven't, man. I spent a whole 40 minutes reading a thread because I'm trying to understand Kompany. But hey, he might be the guy, man. He might be our guy. Look, it depends, bro. It depends. See, look, a lot of people are going to look at his time at Burnley and say, "Oh, I got relegated," but he promoted them to the Prem with a bunch of players that had never played for Burnley before. So, like, I don't know. It depends, bro. Nah, you guys just chill out. Chill out, bro. Because like let's support him. Because he's not too cool, bro. We could finally play some football, bruh. We could finally play some football. Decisions from Kompany this season, honestly, terrible. Love him for the good season, but seriously let down at the next level. Oh no, man! What you mean? I was getting excited, man. You just had to ruin it. So what was some of the decisions? Like, what did he do at Burnley? What did he do, man? Ashley, tell us. Tell us what he did. What decisions? Like not substituting players at the right time, or he had low IQ players. Hey, I look. We're just gonna blame it on the Burnley recruiting team. All right, Kompany is not an IQ test. He didn't know those players didn't have no decision making. Look, Kompany system requires intelligent footballers. So if he went and signed a bunch of dumb footballers, then that's concerning. But if it was like they were the only ones available on the market and the Burnley recruitment team didn't give him options, then hey, we will be there, bro. We will be there. Maybe that's what it is. See, you guys just be naming random players. You know both of these. You mean Brian Cruda? Okay. See, that's not a random player. That's someone that could be good. I think it depends on our other business. Like, I want us to focus on a DM, and then attackers are easy to sign because they come in droves. Every summer, like if you notice, winger, attacking midfielder, winger, strike. I mean, strikers are kind of coming up now again. But there was a time where we had no strikers on the market. But now it's like, well, no DMs, the positions we need, no DMs anywhere to be found. So let's get a DM, settle that, because that's the most important one. It's the most important one. I'm excited, but I will be having a healthy dose of skepticism. He needs to prove himself. Yep, that's what okay. I love the guy. Game management was really, really poor. Yes, substitutions being one of them. A lot of our better players didn't get min. Oh man. That's not what I want to hear. Because game management is one of the most important. Like, let's say you were winning 1-0. The next stage is how do you set up? So it seems like he's a stubborn guy. Like, he'll probably just keep playing his same, expansive, fluid. Nah, bro. Sometimes you don't need to be gender fluid, bro. You could just be a straight male. You just need to get that result and go home, bruh. So maybe it looks like he was he but chat, we're gonna blame Peter Griffin from Family Guy if this doesn't work out. So that's the good news. See, I've accepted that we are in a mini banter era. I've accepted it. All right. Max Herbal, Peter Griffin. Let's just let him cook. Okay? Let's let him cook. Let's see what happens. Man, now I feel like watching Family Guy. Hey, Lois. Hey, Lois. Mig. Now, what about, I thought Stewie. Nah, Stewie's the ugliest character in Family Guy. Man. He's just too evil looking. But I mean, the clothing is just so funny to me. Bro, who drew that? Who was like, all right, I'm gonna make a baby talk with a giant football shaped head? Who did that? Oh man, I'm I'm not happy to hear that Kompany doesn't manage games well. Watch some Bayern bum players get the most. We don't look. Bonasar is gone, so at least he won't have that decision to make. I mean, do we really have bums? I mean, we still do. Mm. The Gunners are coming for y'all next season. Of course, of course. He seems like a one-trick pony. I mean, he's a young coach, right? I mean, these days a coach is like 20 years old. Kompany. He's 38. He's 38. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We can spend all day speculating, but it looks like the agreement is just in the final stages now. Just get Burnley on board. I think Bayern want to pay 10 million, Burnley want 20, and as always it's going to end up somewhere in the middle. I think Burnley saw us wanting to sign what's his name? Oliver Glasner, and they just said, "All right, well, we want the same money." So, I mean, Burnley probably feel hard done by because they're like, "Well, you got us relegated. Now you're just gonna leave us? Like, come on, bro. You're supposed to help us get back up there." I think there was something about a 5-year plan with Burnley where Company would try to get the club, to stay in the Prem and then move on and go to City or something, probably. But it's not going to work like that, man. That's not how football works. Sometimes something just happens, and so we'll see. Maybe this thing is going to be done by Sunday. I doubt it. I think next week we'll probably know. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia and peace.